This is without a doubt one of the biggest, most universal issues I see. People who do not have that sense of community or sense of belonging to some kind of group are less happy, are less satisfied with life compared to those people who do feel like they belong to something, they belong somewhere. They're generally more happy and more satisfied with life. Science has shown us that belonging is a fundamental human need, so this is not surprising. The issue, of course, is in this digital age, relatively recent digital age that we are all kind of new to as a species, it has become harder and harder to actually connect and find community with people because we have the convenience of this little phone, which might seem like we're connecting because we're seeing everybody else on the screen, but in fact, it leaves us feeling most of the time more isolated. And then on top of that, what makes it even worse is the fact that these apps, social media dating apps, are designed to keep you in them. They're designed for you to continue scrolling and swiping and checking your notifications. They are not actually designed for you to go out and find human connection. So we do have a bit of a problem here. And in this video, what I'm going to be doing is sharing with you 3 really simple ways to shift that mindset so that you can actually find connection in the digital age. Let's get started. But first, why is this important to me? Why do I keep talking about connection and community within the gay community? Well, if you followed my work, you know that I am dedicated to helping gay, bi, and queer men feel a greater sense of confidence, comfort in their own skin, and have more sense of belonging within the gay community. And why is this important to me? Well, because I've been there myself. I know how difficult it is to find like-minded guys to authentically connect with, to have those deeper, more meaningful conversations than you might find on an app or at a dance club, at a gay bar. Again, not that there's anything wrong with those things, but I think that for a lot of guys out there who talk to me, they say, yeah, we have that, but what about, it's a surface level and we want to go deeper. We want to find people who we can truly be ourselves with and feel comfortable with, okay? So how do we do that? How do we find connection in the digital age? Well, as a coach, transformation is really about 2 things. One is the being, so it's shifting the mindset, and then the other is the doing, which is shifting the behavior. So it's a be-do. If you want a different outcome, you have to change the being, the mindset, and the doing, the behavior. So we're going to talk a little bit about the mindset today. Okay, so what is this mindset transformation I'm talking about? Consumption is when you are using your apps and your digital spaces very unconsciously, very passively. It's the endless scrolling where you're just kind of scrolling, watching the next reel, watching the next TikTok, watching the next short, not really engaging with it. It's just a very passive experience of your digital spaces. This often leads to information overload, a lot of unconscious thoughts. So you might be going into compare and despair very unconsciously as you're seeing everybody else have these wonderful lives and you're just kind of sitting there in the dark in your room alone, watching it on the screen. And that often leads to isolation. So again, this thing that is meant to connect us can actually create isolation, all because it's very unconscious. Now, connection mode is the opposite. That is the shift. We're going to shift from consumption mode to connection mode, still using our apps and our phones, still in the digital spaces, okay? And what connection mode is the opposite. It's a very conscious experience of your virtual spaces. It's very purposeful engagement. It is actually engaging, so you're commenting, you're DMing, you're liking. And when I say that, you're not just sending a few emojis, okay? That's not it. You're using full sentences. You're sending meaningful responses to people. You're DMing them and saying more than just, hey, or heart emoji or a flame emoji. That does not count, okay? The other thing that you can do is ensure you're connecting with people who actually uplift you and that you want to connect with, not just some hot random model that you're never going to talk to or that you don't really see anything with besides maybe that they look good, okay? So you want to do that, and you want to focus on fewer, deeper conversations and engagements than having a long list of DMs that say, hey, or flame, heart, flame, okay? That doesn't count. You want to focus on a few smaller group and then just go deeper with them. So again, this is a much more conscious way of using your social media and using your virtual spaces. So that's the difference between that consumption mindset and a connection mindset. So how do you shift it? What are some things we can do to actually make that shift? I'm going to give you 3 ways you can do that today. Okay. Number 1 is you want to audit and curate your following. This is very conscious. This means you go in and you unfollow or mute any accounts that really don't add value to your life. If you find that you're watching these people or these accounts and it's not uplifting you, it's not motivating you, it's not entertaining you, it doesn't make you feel good, mute, unfollow. Okay. The algorithm will give you what you follow. And so this is really about training the algorithm how to feed you. It's going to feed you anyway. So might as well train it on what to give you. Okay. That's number 1. The second thing you can do is to set very conscious goals and time limits around your social media use or around your app use. I would suggest setting a timer for 15 to 30 minutes, and you make a commitment to yourself that in that time you are going to send 1 meaningful DM and 1 meaningful comment. Again, full sentences. So something that someone might post on my Instagram is, "Hey Michael, I really appreciated this podcast. It really taught me a lot about how to, deal with conflict with my partner. Thank you so much. I love your content. This really resonates with me." And guess what? When I read that comment, I am so much more likely to give that person an equally meaningful, meaty response versus someone who just says, "Hey," I might not even respond to that. Okay. So set a time limit, and in that time, commit to sending 1 meaningful DM and 1 meaningful comment. And the third thing you can do is to join communities and virtual spaces. There are so many niche communities out there for gay, bi, and queer men, or anyone in the LGBTQ umbrella. And these groups are designed and meant for connection. So they actually want you to go into them and connect with them. I am the leader of one such group in the Gay Men's Brotherhood. We've got 9,000 guys there, and they are all there for the same reason. They want to meet and connect with like-minded guys who value personal development. So those are the 3 ways you can do it. And by the way, when you get into those groups, you don't want to just be a wallflower. You do want to engage. So ask questions, respond to comments, share your perspectives, share your opinion, ask open-ended questions, and be an active participant. Don't just be a wallflower. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take one of those 3 ideas that I just offered and go use them and practice it, and then tell me how it goes. You can leave a comment here on YouTube. I'll be checking my comments. Tell me how it goes. What came up for you? And if this topic interests you, please check out the resources I have below. This is a very important topic to me, so I have lots of resources on how to build connection in the digital age, how to use social media more consciously, and build community. Thank you so much for joining me on this, and we'll see you next time. Be well.